Well, hey everybody, welcome back to another tutorial. In this video I'll be showing you how to get the structure block, also how to use it, and what exactly is the structure block. Going inside of it can be a little bit confusing, all the numbers and options that it gives you, but trust me, it is a very easy thing to learn. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright everyone, let's go ahead and start this up. As you see, I'm on PS4 edition. I'm going to go ahead and create a new world, and I'm going to show you first how to get the structure block. So I'm going to put it on creative. Obviously we need it on creative. I'm going to go ahead and scroll right down here. Show coordinates, very useful, but the main thing is right here. Use experimental gameplay. Make sure that you click that on. That way it'll give you the option to get the structure block. It's the only way you can do it. Once you click that, it'll give you this notice saying that it might not be stable. Don't worry about that. Just go ahead and continue. It will go ahead and make a copy of your world anyway, so that's perfectly okay. Alright, now once you have that, then go ahead and create your world, load it up. Alright, now once you get in your world, let's show you how to get the structure block. So open up your chat right here at the bottom. Let's go ahead and place in /give @self structure, and you're going to place underscore block. So again, /give @self structure block. Enter that in, and as you see, we now have a structure block. So let's show you how to use this and what exactly is it. So let's go ahead and place it right here on the ground. Looking at this, we have a red line right here, we have a blue line right here, and we have a green line going vertically. We also have white lines connecting them up in a small dimension square. So let's go ahead and click on this. Right over here we have a red X, we have a green Y, and a blue Z. A 5 by 5 by 5 box. So 5 blocks this way, 5 blocks this way, and 5 blocks tall. A 5 by 5 by 5. Now again, the blue here, the red here, and the green vertically. So right over here we have the red X, which is the red line here. We have a blue Z, which is the blue line down here. And we have the Y is green. That's the vertical line that we have. Alright, now, once we got this, and now you know the dimensions, the colors, let's go ahead and go a little deeper into it. So we have a village here. Let's go ahead and look at this structure right here. So we're gonna go ahead and copy this structure, for example. So placing this down, if you place this right on the ground, you see that the lines go down under this structure block. We have the blue line here. We have the red line here going up under. Okay, so if you place this straight on the ground, what's going to happen when you copy it, you're going to also copy what's under it. So what I like to do is I like to place it one block off the ground like this. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to copy the structure. So let's go ahead and place this down here, and let's take a look at it. So first off, let's look at the blue line here. The blue line goes this way, and we need it to come out a little bit more. Alright, so let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 blocks. But we have banners here, which considered a block itself. So let's come out 5 blocks for the blue line here. So let's click on here. right here, let's make it a 10. Click off of it, and now you see the blue line comes out. One block after this. But the banners need to be included. If we'd done a 9, it would not copy the banners on the far side. Now looking on this side here, we have the red line. 1, 2. 2 more blocks for the red line. So let's click this. And the red is a 5. So let's go ahead and make that a 7. Take a look at it and it comes out. You see all this here is all included in this box. Now let's look at the green line, the vertical line. You got 1, 2 more blocks. So let's go ahead and move that on up. So click on this. The 5, let's make it a 7. Alright, now you see now it's all included inside this grid. Alright, now let's say that you have a mob in here, or a armor stand, or an animal, anything like that inside there. If you want to copy that as well, it'll be right here where it says include entities. If you have that on, it'll also include that as well. Now over here you could also move the structure around, which is really neat. I really like this feature. Look under it, look inside it, look all around it. It's really cool. Alright, now what we're going to do right here where it has structure name, this is extremely important. What you're going to do once you have everything down, you're going to name your structure. I'm just going to place test in there. Alright, now I'm going to hit save. And it's very important, whatever you name this, you need to write it down on a piece of paper. So I hit save here, and I hit save down here. Now, this structure is now saved. So let's go ahead and place it somewhere else. So let's just go right over here. For example, come off the ground by a block, like what we've done before. Go into this. Let's put in our name, which is test. Right up here, let's hit load. Now before going down here hitting this, back out of it. That way you can see how big your area is. If you're moving things close to other structures that are really big, like if you're in your city moving a big house or big building, things like that, you don't want it cutting into something. For example, if we have a house coming in right here and it's cutting into it, it will delete whatever inside the grid. It'll delete that. So I always like to back out to make sure, you know, if it's close to something. Alright, so let's go ahead and come down here and hit load. And as you see, we now have the structure over here, which is really cool. So let's go ahead and show you how to rotate this. So as you see how it's setting here. So let's go ahead and come back in here, place this back down, go in here, and now let's put in our name that we have, test. Let's load this up. And now right down here we have an option. We could rotate this. Let's rotate it 90 degrees. Alright, and as you see over here we have some grass in there. Let's back out of it and take a look why. It cut into here. That's why you always need to back out to see if you're cutting into something. So instead of me taking this and deleting it, I'm going to leave it there. Remember, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks here. Now, I'm going to leave that there to show you that it's going to cut into it. And we rotated this. So, let's go in here. Again, down here, we rotated it 90 degrees. Now let's hit load. Now coming out of it, looking at it, you see we rotated it 90 degrees. Now coming over here, you see the blocks that we did have here are now gone, and now we have grass blocks in here. Those grass blocks are there because on this side here, back here we have grass blocks. Those were included in the grid. So I hope that you all enjoyed this tutorial. If you do, hit the like. Now let's show you a little bit more. Well, alright, now as you see, I placed one right here under the water. Going down here, let's look at it. Inside of this grid, I don't have any blocks, only just water blocks. And let's go ahead and spawn in some fish inside of this. That will be the entities. Now let's click on this. Hopefully that some of these will stay in here. Click on this real quick. Right here for the name, I'm just going to place water. I'm going to go ahead and hit save right there. And as you see, we still got fish inside of here. And now let's go ahead and come down here and hit save. Alright, now once you've got that, now this chunk is saved. So let's go ahead and take this structure block. And let's just come up here on some land. Let's place this here. For the name, let's put water. Let's load that up. Load this up. And as you see, we now have this water block, the source that we just moved. We have it over here, and we have the fish. You see, we got fish in here. So that is how you move things as well. Alright, now you see here's another village. Now if I wanted to, I could extend this village out and make a very massive, very big village out of what we have here. Now the structure block only does up to 64 by 64 by 64 blocks. Let me go ahead and come down here and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So the red here, let's put in 64. The green, 64. And the blue, also 64. Now you see the grid is kind of big. It's hard to see. The green line here goes up 64. The red goes out 64. And the blue goes out 64. So this is a big air chunk. You see, there's no blocks inside of this. Nothing at all, just air. So I'm going to show you something else that's kind of cool. Go inside of here. Let's go ahead and name this structure. Let's just name it air. Alright. And now let's go ahead and save this one. Go down here, save. So now we have this one here called air. So let's go ahead and go somewhere. Let's just go out here in the water and see what happens. So again, 64 by 64 by 64 air. So I'm just gonna come down. I'm gonna come up about right there. And I'm just doing this for example. So I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna type in air. That's the name of the here, and we're gonna put in load. Right here, we're gonna hit load. And as you see, it just cut out this whole area. And we have floating sand. Oh, there it goes. It lagged a little bit. But as you see, guys, it cut all this out. Well, right now you see we have a chunk of sand here, a little sand hill. Let's go ahead and come down here, place this down, and let's go ahead and make this, let's say 30. And let's go ahead and make this 64. And let's make this also 64. Back out of it to see how far this comes out. So you see the blue line is way out here. So we have most of this here inside of here. So now let's go ahead and come down here and let's just name this sand. Alright, let's go ahead and save that. Let's save it down here. And now we have this structure named sand. And now let's go ahead and come right over here to this flat spot. And now let's go ahead and come here. You get the idea, but again I just want to show you. So let's hit load here, back out of it again to see if anything's in the way, but this really doesn't matter in this example. And let's go ahead and come down here and hit load. So there you go. So that's how you move big structures, as you see there. Alright, now I'm back in my city, and as you see we have this big building here. It's not finished, but there's enough here to show you for example. So what I've done here is I've made a little area. I built a small wall, and then I used a structure block and I just copied it right next to each other and then stacked it right on top of each other. And I made this within a couple minutes. So normally this here, the old-fashioned way, placing the blocks by hand, this here would take, you know, a good hour, 2 hours max to do. It would take some time. But using the structure block, you could go in here, place it down, fix all the numbers, check back and forth, come out of it, make sure that your lines are where they need to be, go back in it, change the numbers, etc. You get the idea. But I'm just going to show you what you could do with this. You can make big structures and copy things on top of each other and do this here within just a few minutes. Alright, now let's go ahead and cover one last thing. Now, for the people that know me, know that I love my custom trees. I take pride and joy in them. They look a lot better than the old sapling Minecraft tree that you normally see in people's worlds. I really love my custom trees. So what I've done here is I made 12 different types of trees. And then I used a structure block. I copied the tree and I saved it. And I wrote the name of the tree. So I have tree 1, tree 2, tree 3, and so on. So I got 12 different ones. And then I placed them down and then I just loaded it up. And I moved trees around, I mirrored the trees, and I rotated the trees. That way they look a little bit different from each other. So for example, let's just do one last thing. Let's come right over here and let's go ahead and put a small tree right here. So come right down here. I'm going to place this one block off the ground. I'm going to go in here, and one of my trees is called Small Tree 1. Let's go ahead and load that up. Load it up down here. And as you see, we have Small Tree 1. Well, alright, now I know a lot of you are going to say that you could do the same thing using the command block. But there's only one problem. The command block has a limit distance on placing something else down. For example, this house here, I built this house originally about 2 maps over, far away, and I wanted it over here. So I used the command block and it said it was too far away. So then I used the structure block. The structure block has no limit distance. It placed it over here with no problems. Another example, this house here was built originally by Dave Ventura. He's the one that showed me how to use the structure block. So check his link down below and give him some love. Also, like I was saying, this house here was built by him, and it was like 5 or 6 maps over, even further away than that one was from here. And I wanted a house here, so what I've done is I've done the same thing, and boom, no problem. So again, the command block, there's a limit distance. The structure block has no limit distance. Lord, again, please check the link down below to Dave Ventura. I hope that you all enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please hit the like down below. Let me know what you think of it, and I'll see you all next time.